Hey guys, it's Nina, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my favorite first sentences. So I have a stack of about 8 or 9 different books that I really like the first sentences of, and they all have different reasons as for why I like them, and obviously I will get into those. And this is going to be in no particular order, it's just the order that I happen to pick them up. The first one that I have here is Legend by Marie Lu. I love this book, but the first sentence of this was really eye-catching and really intriguing. And the first sentence is very simple. It's, "My mother thinks I'm dead." And I remember reading that and being like, whoa, why does your mom think you're dead? Immediately you start thinking like, oh, did this character fake their own death? What's going on? And it's just a really gripping first sentence that I really appreciate, and it's such a great way to dive right into Day's character and sets up so well. I just really like it. The next introduction that I have is from a book that I haven't read yet, and that is The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. And this one's just a really pretty first sentence, but also really cool. And it's, "Today was the day 1,000 dreams would die and a single dream would be born." I just thought that first sentence was really poetic, and it really sets the scene because this book is about a girl who has an arranged marriage and runs away from that. So the first few scenes are her deciding to run away from her arranged marriage. So it makes sense that everyone's dreams are kind of dying about that marriage coming about, but her one dream of running away and living her own life is coming to fruition, and that's just really great and poetic, and I really like that. The next one that I have is kind of a weird one, not gonna lie, and that is Uglies by Scott Westerfeld. I could not remember for the life of me what the first sentence of this was, and when I read it, it just kind of made me laugh. The first sentence is, "The early summer sky was the color of cat vomit." And I don't know about you, but I just thought that was really funny. Like, why are we starting this book by talking about a color being cat vomit? And I don't know, that was just really fascinating. Like, even if you think it's weird, you cannot deny the creativity that went into that sentence. Next up, I have another book which I haven't read yet, and that is The Tales of a Shadowhunter Academy by Cassandra Clare and a bunch of other people. And for this, I'm going to count the first sentence of the first novella because this is a collection of different novellas about Simon. And this was another one that just made me smile. The first sentence is, "The problem was that Simon did not know how to pack like a badass." That is just the most Simon sentence, and I love it because Simon is adorable and is like going off to do things that I can't say because of spoilers, but that's just like, I don't know. This sentence is one that doesn't make sense unless you know the Shadowhunter Chronicles and you're like caught up on them, but I just really appreciate that first sentence, and you know why if you know why. It's just really cute. I love it. The next book is another one that I haven't read yet. I just went through all the books on my shelf, what can I say? And that is going to be The Forgetting by Sharon Cameron. And this is a really cool first sentence because although I haven't read this book yet, this first sentence makes me want to read this book. And it goes, "I'm going to be flogged and I don't know why I'm so surprised about it." That just sounds like a first sentence that is right up my alley. Like, immediately I want to know, why is this main character being flogged? What did she do that's against the rules of her society? And follow-up question, why is she not surprised? Does she get in trouble a lot? Or is this her first time being caught but she does a lot of illegal things? Like, I need to know what's up. And I low-key want to go and read this right now. That's how you know it's a good first sentence. And next up, I have a book that I don't physically own, and that is Divergent by Veronica Roth. And this first sentence has to be one of my favorites of all time because it's just one of those first sentences that has stuck with me. And like, I just know it so well, which is weird. But the first sentence of Divergent is, "There is one mirror in my house." Which is just such a cool, like, I remember reading that sentence still for the first time and being like, why is there only one mirror in your house? What's going on? Like, it was just such a like attention grabbing sentence, and I love it, and I don't know why it stuck with me, but it's just really cool. The next book that I have is one that I'm currently reading, and that is City of Saints and Thieves by Natalie Anderson. And this one I really liked because it kind of sums up the book really well, or introduces it really well. That would be horrible if it summed up the entire of whatever. It's not a spoiler. And the first sentence is, "If you're going to be a thief, the first thing you need to know is that you don't exist." And I really like that because it's very informative. Like, immediately you know your main character's a thief, she's probably about to go steal something, and she's very good at blending in the background, and I don't know, I really like spy and mystery books, so that right away caught my interest. I also really like it because as this book goes on, she drops different tips like that, like tip number 2 that you need to know about being a thief is this, and tip number 3 is this, and I really like that she starts with tip number 1 and then continues that throughout the book. That's just really creative to me, funny, and it also reminds me of I'd Tell You I Love You But Then I Have to Kill You by Ali Carter. That was a book series that I was like obsessed with in middle school, and this just like reminds me of that in that way and just makes me happy. And next up we have basically any of the first sentences from the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series by Rick Riordan, my favorite of which is the one from The Last Olympian because I think this first sentence is just amazing, but really any of the Percy Jackson books have phenomenal first sentences. Like, Rick Riordan is just killing it with those. But anyway, the first sentence of this is pretty phenomenal, and the sentence is, "The end of the world started when a pegasus landed on the hood of my car." I just really appreciate that first sentence because it's the first sentence of the last book. This is the final chapter for Percy, or at least we thought it was the final chapter until we got the Heroes of Olympus. And it's just got that really like quirky Rick Riordan humor, like, oh my god, the world is ending, but it's ending in a funny way because a pegasus just landed on a car. And it's just got that like Rick Riordan vibe to it, and I love it. And then I did lie a little because the last sentence that I have is actually my favorite first sentence of all time, and it's not really the first sentence, but really the first 4-ish sentences, and that is going to be from I Am the Messenger by Marcus Zusak. I absolutely love this book, and this is one of those books that I actually picked up because of the first sentence, so it's perfect for this video. And I'm gonna read you the first 4 sentences because they all go together and they're all really short. "The gunman is useless. I know it, he knows it, the whole bank knows it." I just love that first sentence. Like, immediately you're thrust right into the scene. Like, the first scene of this book is this guy at a bank and it's being robbed, and the gunman is like useless. He's just nervous, he doesn't know what to do, and everyone's just like lying on the floor with their hands on their heads, just rolling their eyes like, dude, can you get on with it? And that is just hilarious to me. But I just remember picking this up, reading those first few sentences, and then suddenly I was reading it, and it was fantastic. I love this book, by the way. Unpopular opinion, I actually like this more than The Book Thief, so I just cannot talk about this book enough. You guys should go read it. So those were all of my favorite first sentences. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know down below if there are any like really good first sentences that I'm forgetting about. I know there's plenty of like classics out there that have really iconic ones like The Great Gatsby or other things like that, but I'm kind of excluding those because I wasn't going for iconic, I was going for like just really good ones. But anyway, let me know down below if you have any thoughts, comments, etc. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe, and I will see you guys later with another video soon. Bye!